Urgent. Prince William just called out Starmer in a move so explosive that palace insiders are calling it unprecedented in modern royal history. His exact words shocked 2 continents and triggered the biggest constitutional crisis Britain has seen in 50 years. And what happened next sent shockwaves through Westminster that are still reverberating right now. The royal family is in absolute chaos. Ministers are plotting. Cabinet members are fleeing. If you want to see how this crisis destroys careers, hit that subscribe button right now. Because the next 72 hours will change Britain forever. Here's what sparked the constitutional meltdown that has Britain on the edge of collapse. At 9:47 a.m. yesterday morning, Prince William attended what was supposed to be a routine charity event for homeless veterans in South London. His speech was meant to focus on housing, mental health support, basic stuff that stays safely away from politics. But William wasn't following protocol. He looked directly at the cameras and his message was devastating. When our government promises support for those who served and then redirects billions to those who just arrived, something has gone deeply, profoundly wrong with our priorities. But karma wasn't expecting a direct challenge from the future king. Downing Street erupted instead. Within 90 minutes, the Prime Minister fired back with a statement so venomous that even his own MPs gasped. The royal family would never be the same. Starmer's response was swift and devastating. At 11:23 a.m., standing outside number 10, he faced the cameras with what witnesses described as barely controlled rage. His exact words were chilling. Prince William needs to understand that Britain is a democracy, not a kingdom ruled by inherited privilege. If he wants to lecture elected officials about priorities, perhaps he should run for office himself and face the voters. The immediate reaction was explosive. Within minutes, Twitter erupted with number William V Starmer trending globally. Conservative MPs called emergency meetings. Labour backbenches stared at their phones in disbelief. According to senior sources inside Westminster, Shadow Foreign Secretary David Lammy was overheard saying he just picked a fight with the most popular royal in Britain. This is political suicide. But the hammer fell even harder than anyone expected. At 2:15 p.m., Buckingham Palace issued a statement that constitutional experts are calling nuclear. The Prince of Wales spoke from the heart about issues affecting millions of British families. His commitment to veterans and vulnerable citizens has never wavered. Those who serve this nation deserve better than political attacks when their advocate speaks truth. Notice what the palace did there. They didn't apologize. They didn't back down. They doubled down and painted Starmer as the villain attacking veterans. Meanwhile, British veterans who sacrificed everything for this country are living in conditions that would shame a developing nation. James Morrison, a 62-year-old Fallons veteran, was found sleeping in a doorway in Manchester last week. His service medals were pinned to his jacket as he begged for spare change. James waited 14 months for a council flat that never came. "I fought for this country," he told reporters with tears in his eyes. "And now my government treats me like I'm invisible." His story isn't unique. Sarah Patterson, a former Royal Navy medic who served 3 tours in Afghanistan, lives in her car in a Brighton car park. She suffers from PTSD and was denied mental health services because the waiting list stretches 18 months. "I patched up soldiers under enemy fire," she said, her voice breaking, "and now I can't even get a phone call returned from the council." These are the people Prince William was defending. These are the heroes Starmer dismissed. While asylum seekers arriving by boat receive immediate housing in hotels costing taxpayers £8 million per day. We're talking 4-star accommodations, 3 meals daily, spending money, full medical care, legal representation. The Britannia Hotel in Stockport houses 240 asylum seekers at a cost of £120 per person per night. That's £28.800 per night for one hotel. Meanwhile, James Morrison sleeps on cardboard. The contrast is so brutal, so obscene that even lifelong Labour voters are questioning their loyalty. A YouGov poll released at 6 p.m. yesterday showed 68% of Britons agree with Prince William's statement. Among voters over 50, that number rockets to 79%. Among veterans and their families, it hits 91%. Starmer didn't just attack a prince. He attacked the conscience of the nation. Then something unprecedented happened that nobody saw coming. King Charles, who has spent 2 years carefully avoiding anything remotely political, broke 70 years of royal protocol with a move so bold that constitutional scholars are still debating its legality. At 4:30 p.m. yesterday, during what was scheduled as a routine meeting with the Privy Council, King Charles delivered remarks that were immediately leaked to 3 major newspapers. "When my son speaks about duty, service, and the welfare of those who defended this realm, he speaks with my full support," the king declared with what insiders describe as steely determination. "The monarchy exists to serve the people, not the political class." Palace insiders reveal that Charles personally approved the leak. He wanted the country to know exactly where he stands. Senior advisors were overheard in heated discussions about whether this crosses constitutional boundaries. One longtime palace official speaking anonymously admitted, "In 30 years of service, I've never seen the king this angry." He believes Starmer disrespected William and by extension disrespected every veteran in Britain. "The optics are catastrophic for the Prime Minister. You have a father defending his son, a monarch defending veterans, and a future king exposing government hypocrisy. Meanwhile, Starmer looks petty, vindictive, and completely tone-deaf to what matters to ordinary British families." But wait, because there's another layer that makes this even more explosive. According to 3 separate sources inside Kensington Palace, Prince William's speech wasn't spontaneous passion. It was calculated strategy, months in the making. The prince has been quietly meeting with veterans advocacy groups since last October. He's toured homeless shelters in 6 cities. He sat with former soldiers living in tents under bridges. One advisor close to William revealed he's been building to this moment for half a year. He knew exactly what he was doing and he knew it would cause a firestorm. Which means this wasn't an emotional outburst. This was a future king drawing a line in the sand about what kind of Britain he wants to inherit. Even more stunning, sources suggest Princess Catherine fully supported the speech and encouraged William to go further than his initial draft. She told him that silence is complicity. One palace insider claimed she said their children will inherit a Britain that's unrecognizable unless someone speaks up now. The royal family isn't just reacting to events, they're shaping them. The domino effect hit the economy before the markets even opened. By Friday morning, the pound sterling dropped 1.8% against the dollar, its steepest single-day decline since the mini-budget disaster of 2022. Investment analysts cited political instability and constitutional uncertainty. £2.3 billion was wiped from the FTSE 100 in the first hour of trading alone. Goldman Sachs issued a note to clients warning of prolonged volatility. Morgan Stanley downgraded UK investment prospects from stable to negative. But the real carnage was happening inside the Labour Party itself. By Friday afternoon, 4 junior ministers had resigned. Transport Secretary Louise High was the first, submitting a letter that was leaked within 30 minutes. "I cannot serve a Prime Minister who attacks the royal family for defending British veterans." Home Office Minister Stephen Kinnock followed 2 hours later. Education Minister Catherine McKinnell resigned at 5 p.m. Defense Minister Luke Pollard, whose entire job involves supporting veterans, quit at 7:30 p.m. with a statement calling Starr's comments indefensible. But here's where it gets really interesting. A 5th resignation came at 10:15 p.m. that shocked Westminster to its core. Veterans Minister Johnny Mercer, a former soldier himself who served in Afghanistan, didn't just resign. He publicly endorsed Prince William's statement and called Starmer's response disgraceful. "I've bitten my tongue for 2 years," Mercer wrote in a scathing resignation letter posted to Twitter. "But I will not stay silent while a prime minister who never served dismisses those who did." The letter went viral immediately. Shared 340,000 times in 3 hours. Labour MPs privately admit this is the most damaging defection in party history because Mercer is a decorated combat veteran. His words carry weight that no spin doctor can counter. International reactions came swift and brutal. In Australia, where King Charles remains head of state, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese publicly praised Prince William's advocacy for veterans. In Canada, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre called Starmer's attack shameful and unbecoming. Even in New Zealand, opposition leaders questioned Britain's political stability. For the first time in decades, Britain looked weak, divided, and rudderless on the world stage. On social media, the explosion was unprecedented. Her number Stand with William trended number 1 globally for 18 consecutive hours. A video of Prince William's original speech hit 47 million views in 36 hours. Polls showed Starmer's approval rating cratering from 39% to 22% overnight. Protests erupted across London, Manchester, Birmingham, and Glasgow, with thousands carrying signs reading "Veterans before Migrants" and "William speaks truth." This wasn't a political disagreement anymore. It was a full-scale national uprising against the Prime Minister. Inside number 10, the atmosphere has become poisonous. Ministers are avoiding cabinet meetings that usually run 90 minutes are finishing in 20 because nobody wants to be associated with the crisis. Chancellor Rachel Reeves allegedly walked out of a strategy session after what witnesses described as a screaming match. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was overheard telling a colleague, "This is worse than I thought. We might not survive the month." WhatsApp groups with names like Future Leadership and Postarma Strategy are buzzing with activity. Senior MPs are openly discussing who replaces him. The names being floated include Rayner herself, Reeves, Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting, and even former leader Ed Miliband. The question isn't if they'll challenge Starr for leadership. It's when. A senior Labour MP speaking on condition of anonymity told reporters late Friday night, "I've been in Parliament 20 years and I've never seen anything like this." He looked absolutely devastated at today's cabinet meeting. He knows what's coming. Another insider described Starmer as paranoid, isolated, and lashing out at advisors. He keeps saying he was defending democracy. The source revealed, but everyone around him knows he committed political suicide. Complete panic has replaced confidence. The Labour Party isn't just struggling, it's imploding in real time. And then the most shocking revelation emerged from Downing Street that changes everything we thought we knew about this crisis. Late Friday night, The Times obtained internal communications showing that 3 senior advisors explicitly warned Starmer not to respond to Prince William's speech. They told him to stay silent. Let it pass. Avoid the confrontation. One memo obtained by the newspaper was brutally direct. Any public attack on the Prince of Wales will be seen as attacking veterans. This is unwinnable. Do not engage. Starmer ignored them. He overruled his entire communications team. He insisted on making the statement himself. Which means this disaster wasn't bad advice or poor judgment from his team. This was Starmer's personal decision against unanimous opposition from everyone around him. Political analysts are calling it staggering arrogance. He genuinely believed he could win a public fight with the future king, said former Labour strategist John McTernan. That level of delusion is frightening in a prime minister. But here's the layer that could end Starmer's career by Monday morning. Leaked government documents obtained by The Telegraph reveal something absolutely devastating about the timeline of events. If these documents are real and if they show what multiple sources claim, then Keir Starmer knew about Prince William's speech topic 48 hours before it happened. According to the documents allegedly shared between Downing Street and Kensington Palace, William's team notified the government on Wednesday that the prince would address veteran homelessness. They followed standard protocol. They gave advanced notice. They were transparent, which means Starmer had 2 full days to prepare a measured response or simply say nothing. Instead, he chose to launch a public attack on the future king. Think about what that means. This wasn't a spontaneous reaction to an unexpected ambush. This was a calculated decision to pick a fight with the monarchy. Either Starr spectacularly misjudged public opinion or he genuinely believes attacking the royal family plays well with his base. Both possibilities are career-ending. The optics of that would be absolutely devastating. A prime minister who had time to think, time to consult advisors, time to consider consequences, and still chose to declare war on Britain's most beloved institution. Constitutional law experts are calling it the worst political judgment they've witnessed in modern British history. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage is capitalizing on Labour's meltdown with surgical precision. While Starmer burns, Farage appears calm, statesmanlike, and utterly aligned with public sentiment. At a Reform UK rally in Birmingham on Friday evening, he spoke to a crowd of 8,000 with the confidence of someone who smells blood in the water. When Prince William speaks for our veterans, Farage declared to thunderous applause, he speaks for all of us. And when the Prime Minister attacks him, he attacks British values itself. The crowd erupted. Chants of Farage for PM echoed through the arena. For the first time in British political history, Reform UK is pulling ahead of Labour in 6 constituencies. The polls tell the story clearly. Conservatives steady at 34%. Labour collapsing to 24%. Reform UK surging to 26%. A three-way deadlock. A nation fracturing along cultural fault lines. Farage isn't just winning converts from Labour. He's attracting lifelong tries disgusted by their party's weakness. "I voted Conservative for 40 years," said Patricia Jenkins, a 71-year-old retiree from Essex. "But they've done nothing to stop this madness. Farage is the only one defending what makes Britain great." Traditional party loyalties are shattering. The political map is being redrawn in real time. And standing at the center of the chaos is a prince who dared to speak uncomfortable truths. The next 72 hours are critical for Britain's political survival. On Monday morning, Parliament returns and Labour MPs are already demanding an emergency debate. Backbenchers who stayed silent Friday are now calling for Starr to apologise or resign. The Prime Minister faces a no-confidence motion that could come as early as Tuesday. Meanwhile, Buckingham Palace has scheduled what's being described as a crisis meeting between King Charles, Prince William, and senior constitutional advisors. Topics allegedly include whether the monarchy should distance itself further from the government or double down on public advocacy. Sources suggest William wants to give another speech. Charles is reportedly torn between supporting his son and protecting the crown's neutrality. If William speaks again and goes even harder, the crisis escalates beyond anything we've seen. The question is no longer whether Starmer can survive this scandal. It's whether the entire Labour government can survive. Britain is watching the Prime Minister's authority collapse in real time. His own party is abandoning him. His voters have turned against him. International allies are questioning his judgment. This crisis will be studied for decades as the moment a British leader forgot that the monarchy isn't just ceremony and tradition. It's the heart of British identity. At its epicenter stands Keir Starmer, who looks increasingly isolated, increasingly desperate, and increasingly finished. So, here's the question that matters. Does Starmer resign before he's forced out? Does Prince William speak again and finish what he started? Or does King Charles intervene with constitutional powers not used in 200 years? What do you think happens next? Does Labour survive this constitutional crisis, or does Reform UK ride this wave straight into Downing Street? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. And if this story shocked you as much as it shocked us, share it with everyone who needs to see what's really happening in Westminster right now. The mainstream media won't tell you the full truth, but we will. Subscribe, because by Monday morning, everything could change. The battle for Britain's soul is happening right now. And you're watching history unfold.